This is Andy Purewal for Boxing Social in association with Betfred, and I'm joined by Ted Cheeseman over Zoom. Ted, how are you?
Yeah, all good, mate. Thanks, you.
Yeah, I'm all good, mate. I'm all good. Looking forward to the shows returning next week, as I'm sure you are. Have you missed boxing?
Yeah, to be honest, obviously, for me, it's like, unless you're really involved, like, obviously I'm interested, but it's been sort of like December, January, so it's been sort of dead months anyway, so it ain't really took too much notice. I've just been fully focused on, like, training for my fight, so you ain't really took too much notice, but obviously I'm looking forward to watching a couple of shows in the next few weeks.
Ted, let's obviously just move straight into the one you're boxing on March 6th on the White Povetkin 2 bill. Going in with JJ Metcalf for that vacant British title. Just talk to me about the fight, Ted. You know, the chance to become a two-time British champion. What would it mean for you?
It means a lot because obviously, like for me, I believe I should still be British champion now, and it sort of just puts all them regrets in the back, like in the back of my head, out the window. You get what I mean? Now I get that title back, I can then push on my career. You know what I mean? Obviously, it ain't the rematch of the show that I would probably wanted, but it don't matter. It shows once I win that title back. Obviously, I'll collect the Commonwealth at the same time. You know what I mean? So it'll show that I've pushed on and gone past Scott.
What are you expecting from JJ Metcalf? His best win to date was his victory against Jason Wellborn. But what are you expecting from him?
He's saying he's going to be a fit, strong man. He looks like a good fighter. Obviously, like you say, you can't take too much from what you've seen of his fights because it's only one fight he's been in properly. And no disrespect to Jason Wellborn, but he sort of had his best days. You know what I mean? And when it's come up against like the better opponents, he's got took out. So obviously, I believe I'm his first real test, and you're going to see how good JJ Metcalf is. He's either going to really shine, or he's going to find his level. So we'll see on obviously March the 6th.
Ted, the negative experiences that you've had in your career with regards to the losses or the draw that you've had, when you reflect on it all now, do you feel like you'll benefit from it in the long run because of kind of having some sort of a rebuild effectively?
Yeah, 100%. I'm still a baby. I'm still 25. You know what I mean? This is JJ Metcalf's first British title fight. He's 32. I'm 25. I'm trying to regain a title I've already had. You know what I mean? 2 years ago. You know what I mean? I won it first, so it shows I've got a lot of experience. I've picked up good experience. I'm still in a good position, and all I've done is learn from them obviously bad experiences. In my head, I believe I've only lost one fight. Obviously, on paper, it's different. But I was talking about it in the gym the other day, and obviously this is a massive fight, and like he's number 5 in the IBF, I'm number 7 or 8, and if I win, like when I win, I'm gonna probably go in the top like 4 or 5 in the IBF, and if I was IBF champion and I had a voluntary, I look down the list and I see Ted Cheeseman, he's had 2 losses, a few wins. So I think, oh, bloody hell, I'd chuck in the voluntary. He's already had a couple of losses. He can't be that great. Well, then, unless he looked fully into the background, I mean, you won't know. And obviously, I might get my chance that way. You never know.
Ted, how do you see the remainder of this year playing out for yourself, provided you are successful on March 6th?
I believe as long as everything goes well on March the 6th, I can't look past it. Obviously, JJ Metcalf is a very good opponent, obviously, and unbeaten. But I believe it's like when I won a British title the first time, I was 23. I was still young, which I'm still young now, but I was sort of inexperienced. Never had nothing go wrong. Everything went right, and it just looks easy. I've done a lot of learning in the gym since then. I'm twice the fighter, 3 times the fighter I was then, and I just believe now. Once I win it, as much as it's lovely to go and win the belt outright, it's like I've had a lot of tough fights. You know what I mean? Like I fought everyone, so it's obviously what the best opportunity is for me. And my goal in boxing is to try and become a world champion. Do you know what I mean? So the best route for me to get closer to doing that, I'll choose.
From the sounds of it, Ted, it doesn't seem like kind of you're looking to go back over old ground, shall we say. So by that, you've got the Eggington fight, which people have spoken about, maybe even Anthony Fowler down the line. Are those fights kind of not necessarily in your thinking at this moment in time?
Yeah. Nah, obviously, look, you can never say never. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, with the Eggington fight, it probably would have happened, but like the rematch could have happened. But obviously, for me, in like there weren't no rewards for the risk. You know what I mean? So the only reward there was to be was a financial reward. You know what I mean? And obviously, when this opportunity come up with Sam Eggington, not Sam Eggington, JJ Metcalf, there was a reward with it. You know what I mean? If I win, I'll win the British title again. If I win, I'll pick up the Commonwealth also. So it's like it was something. There's a risk. You know what I mean? Sam Eggington fighting 10 times. 10 times is a hard fight. You know what I mean? But I beat him once, and unless there was something like massive there for me to bother taking a risk again, there's no point. I've done that. So no one has ever given me chances. You know what I mean? No one's ever I've done everything the hard way. So I'm there now. Obviously, look, Sam probably sits there and regrets, thinking if he'd have waited out, he might go a final eliminator or eliminator for a world title. But obviously, look, it was the pandemic. He probably needed a payday, and he had to take the risk. And deep down now, obviously, I know Sam probably will get another chance. He's a good fighter. He always takes fights, but he probably regrets it. And I don't want to sit there and regret it. So I'm taking a fight that I believe's worth the risk and worth the reward. And then, stop working. And then when I've got past this fight, then I'll look for an eliminator for a world title or something. Obviously, if the Fowler fight's there and it's worth it, obviously me and my team will look at it and stuff. But I think for me, for me I want to push as close as I can to being fighting for a world title as I possibly can.
Ted, one thing which I know you and Sam have kind of both shared similar thoughts on in the past, in with regards to both of your careers, you feel like when you've had the close decisions, you haven't had the rub of the luck, whereas other fighters may well have done. So I did an interview with John Pegg yesterday, and John said to me when he fought Ashley Fearfane, one of the judges had the fight as a draw up until the point of a stoppage, which includes the knockdown. Now, personally, I had Sam comfortably ahead. I didn't actually think I gave Ashley a round in that fight. But when you hear stuff like that and the similarities that you've had during your career, do you understand the frustration from kind of their side where they don't feel like they've had the rub of the luck in fights and on the back of having a judge who had scored it like that until it was stopped?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, look, with my fight with Sam, it was a close fight. It wasn't obviously the worldwide decision, but I believe I'd done enough. You know what I mean? It was a good fight, but I'd done enough to win the fight. You know what I mean? And obviously, you can go away after, and obviously your own people sort of say, but you look sort of if you see the fights, like when you look at the Fitzgerald fight, when you look at the Conway fight, if you look at the pundits and everyone, not just one person. Obviously, look, Sam and John are going to have very biased opinions to themselves on watching the fight. But if you look at the pundits for that fight, all of them believe I won. If you look at the ones when I boxed Fitzgerald, it was either a draw or maybe 1 point to Scott or 1 point to me. You know what I mean? When I boxed Kieran Conway, everyone thought I won. You know what I mean? So it shows you, like, obviously, they're claiming like they really believe they beat me and stuff, but I think it's more that they're gutted that it was a close fight. You know what I mean? But they probably could have tried more. But he started too late. He let me get a lead too early, and by the time he was trying to come back into the fight, it was too late. And I did bite down on the gum shield in the last 3 rounds and push on and dig deep with him. He probably didn't think I was going to be able to stand with him at the end, but I did. And I think that's what showed that I've done enough, you know what I mean, to win. And sort of, it never everyone come up on the thing and said, "Well, bloody hell, Sam easily won that. Sam easily won that." You know what I mean? So, but listen, it's one of them things. Like, look, good luck with Sam. He's gonna got another win. He'll go and get another couple of good fights, I think, and he's just got to keep taking his chance like he always has. I mean, he never expected to do or achieve whatever he's achieved so far in the sport. So who knows what he's going to ever achieve? So you just got to keep pushing on.
Away from Sam Ted, as mentioned, kind of just when he touched on old ground. In the past, there was a lot of talk about between you and Anthony Fowler taking place. Anthony's just today, I believe it was, I saw that his fight's been called out of the coming shows because he tested positive for COVID. But down the line, do you see this fight happening? It may be later this year, if not further down the line. What do you think it would take to get that one over the line now?
What you got to realise is, like, a fella, everyone all thinks, a lot of people believe I beat Fowler, and it's a close fight. He put Fowler down. Fowler's gone on to not really box no one who, like, brings a significant reason for him to get a shot at anything. So it's like, look, Fowler's a good fighter, he is, yeah, but look, he just beat Adam Harper, who's scraping that English title level. Do you know what I mean? Like, I lost for the European title. Then I went and boxed Conway, who's a massive, like, middleweight. He's a good unknown fighter, but now everyone knows him and rates him. Yeah, I went and boxed Fitzgerald. Then, still off of two bad decisions that I felt and nothing going my way, I then went and boxed Sam Eggington. You know what I mean? You have to take the risk. You can't just take what risk you fancy. You have to take all the risks until you get in that position. And I don't believe he's done that. You know what I mean? He's handpicked his fights. You know what I mean? He's been managed well. But you got to take more risks. You know what I mean? It's okay talking about fighting me and Sergio Garcia, but what has he done to deserve to fight Sergio Garcia for the European title? Or what has he done if I win a British title to deserve to fight me for the British title? Do you know what I mean? Obviously, he's a good fighter. He had a really good amateur background. But I've seen a lot of talk that he's meant to be fighting Scott again. And so maybe if he goes and beats Scott and he can push on from there, but he needs a big fight. You know what I mean? It's like, no one's give me easy fights and gone or give me the opportunities I wanted. I've had to push for them. You know what I mean? So why should someone just fight like journeyman and sort of tick over fights and English title level fighters and then just get big fights? You know what I mean? You got to earn your shot.
Final name that I want to throw at you, Ted, is Scott Fitzgerald. Every time we've spoken, I know that you've said you felt that you won the fight, and a lot of people on the night felt you won the fight as well. I've seen that he's looking to come back around, end of March, April time. Is that a fight you want to kind of just right the wrongs, just to get that win on your record over him, or is it something that you're not really thinking about?
Right now, I'm not really thinking about it because, look, no disrespect to Scott, I hope he is coming back in April or whenever, and I hope everything is going well. But obviously, his manager done the interview. He never done the interview. You know what I mean? When you see Scott actually do an interview and videos of him training and stuff and everything, then you can realise it is actually true. You know what I mean? But someone having a phone call with their manager saying, "Look, I'm back, I'm training, I'm this," you don't know how true it is. You know what I mean? And look, I've had my problems in my life, and while I'm boxing, he's had his problems. You know what I mean? So I hope he does come back and stuff. But until there is a stable situation there and everything, there's no point of sort of bringing his name into everything and like pushing for his name. It's sort of, you got to go with what's now. Yeah, I mean, and what's there for now. You know what I mean? If he's coming back in April, he's gonna probably want to warm up. Then by the time he has that warm up, let's talk about a Fowler fight. That's gonna be September. Then after that, whether he's won that, he's not gonna be fighting until either December or the New Year. So I mean, he's like miles away, really.
Ted, just away from those guys, get your thoughts on a couple of your campmates who also have dates coming up. Start off with Conor Benn on April 10th, faces Samuel Vargas. Just your thoughts on that and how Conor's been looking in camp?
Yeah, Conor looks really good. He's a sort of, when he come over, he sort of had not really a lot of amateur experience. He's learned a lot on the job, and he's picking up from, like, he's learned a lot. He's become an all-round fighter now. You know what I mean? He can box, he can fight, he can punch, take a good shot. So he's learning a lot, and I just believe he's coming on leaps and bounds. You know what I mean? And on all these experience, and he's dealing with these big occasions. So I think it'll take someone like Samuel Vargas in his stride. It's a good name to have on his resume, but I believe Connor's got well too much for Samuel Vargas now.
Ted, I know you train with Connor day in, day out, but that Formella performance, it certainly caught the eye of many. It was a very astute and very, very good performance from Connor. Was you surprised at all by just how well he was able to deliver or on the night, or was that just kind of what you expected?
Look, he boxed really well, boxed out of his skin, obviously, but he's been performing in the gym. Do you know what I mean? He's sparring well with the boys. We've got a really good camp in our gym. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of good fighters, so we're all learning off each other. So it's only right he's going to keep improving. Do you know what I mean? And he's going to keep pushing for these big fights. And for Mella, on paper, was a really good name and everything, but he showed how good Connor is and what really Formella is really about.
And then just away from him, staying on the same card, where Felix Cash looking to get back out. He's in a brilliant position on a personal note for him. He's either going to look at the British title or I know the European title has been spoken about. What do you think could be most likely, or who would you like to see him in next with? British title being Denzel Bentley, which would go to Perspids.
Yeah, obviously, I think he wants, and obviously everyone wants the British title to happen. It's just if there's going to be awkwardness of making the fight and stuff. But I think as long as the fight's easily made, that will definitely happen.
How do you think that fight plays out? I know obviously you're going to back Felix, but just from looking at how Denzel's performed, what would people expect from it?
I think it's a good fight. That a really good fighter. Felix is a good fighter. Denzel boxed for my amateur gym. Felix is my good teammate, and for me, it's just obviously I don't want to slag neither one off, and I don't want to stick up for neither one more because it's disrespectful. Obviously, I'm with Felix now, but I used to train with Denzel, and I just hope may the best man win. You know what I mean? But Felix is looking really good in the gym. You know what I mean? And he's a massive middleweight. He's coming on leaps and bounds all the time, and he just needs them tests to show how good he is. He's just been a bit unlucky with not getting the fights at the right time, but now he beat Cullen, he beat Wellborn, and he's looking good.
All right, Ted, we'll leave it there now, and I'll leave you to enjoy the rest of your evening and get back to your baby boy, I'm sure, wants your attention more than what I do.
Kid. You know what? Just as you've come on the phone, my missus has just walked in, so now really leave me alone now. Be a proper little mummy, but he's tortured me all afternoon.
Well, Ted, listen, I appreciate your time. Best of luck with the rest of camp, and I'm sure I'll speak to you again soon. Thank you for speaking to Boxing Social.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Andy. Cheers.